severe marital, mental, and just about every kind of breakdown type trouble you can imagine, David. Mm-hmm. You got any idea why that might be?
Yeah, for some of these men, it's pretty obvious. They hammer at a gold where this becomes their only goal in life and their career, which is the pinnacle for them to be able to, like, fly to the moon and back. Well, when they come back, it's such an emotional letdown personally because what do you do to top that? And it leaves them hanging, and a lot of them were just not mentally and emotionally set for that.
Well, that is one scenario. Another is that they became aware of things that they could not talk about, and that kind of thing eats you alive.
There hasn't been anyone that's been in space that has not had some kind of personal, spiritual,
boy, isn't that true?
some kind of event that occurred to them that has, when they come back, they all come back a little different.
Different. Maybe more than a little, too.
Right, and it varies in individuals, but there's not a single one of them that's been out there has not been moved by it, and they all will tell you that.
Yep. All right, let's try one more quick. East of the Rockies, you're on the air with David Adair and Art Bell. Where are you, please?
Albany, New York.
All right.
The last time David was on, I believe he mentioned he was working on a book. Is that true, David? Is that...
Yeah, he just mentioned that.
Right.
He's got a book.
I'm sorry, I was just checking out your reviews on WABC, which are fantastic.
Oh, you mean, how do you get reviews on WABC?
I'm flipping stations. They're off the air right now with you. They're on to their morning show.
Oh, I see.
I'm flipping between Philadelphia and WABC to see how your reviews are coming in. They're coming in great.
You mean you get instant reviews in there?
Right. So I must have missed what you said about your book. I apologize.
All right. The answer is over a 400-page book
called America's Fall from Space, which is going to become a movie. I'm working with the studios now in negotiations on that. I got to fly out to Hollywood on Thursday. I hadn't had time to tell you that, Art.
So there you are. They're going to do his life story,
right.
And but the book is not available, and so
not yet. I'm waiting. I'm going to end up letting the studios do it for me.
So we don't even have anything to sell you.
Okay, well that's great to hear. Congratulations to New York City, Art.
Thank you very much.
Yep, bye.
Take care.
There is one thing, Art. I do have 4 different videotapes, each of them an hour long, and they're on Apollo 13, Helium-3, Challenger, and space technology spinoffs. And I've made these in special effects studios, and I just made these in the last few months.
Well, we do have something to sell you.
Yeah, so
right.
I have a whole string of videos that...
And I bet you even have an 800 number?
No, I don't have a 1-800 number, but I'll give you a mailing address. You can send for the mailing list or the catalog, or it's not catalog, the list of the videotapes, and it tells you what
All right,
each
what is the
tape's
address,
about.
real quick?
The address is 108 Park Place, just like on Boardwalk Park Place, Stockbridge, one word, S-T-O-C-K, Bridge, Stockbridge, Georgia, 30281.
Give that zip code again.
30281.
All right, and we'll give that again before the end of the program. So if you want to know more, there's one way to know more, or you can wait for the movie. From the high desert, I'm Art Bell, and this is Coast to Coast AM.
This is Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell from the Kingdom of Nye. Now again, here's Art.
The Kingdom of Nye, indeed. It is a kingdom out here. All right, a lot of people, no doubt, were trying to write down that address toward the end of the last half hour. Let's give it to them one more time, David.
Okay. It's 108 Park Place.
Park Place.
Park Place. Stockbridge, S-T-O-C-K-B-R-I-D-G-E, Stockbridge, Georgia, 30281.
All right. How much are the videotapes?
They're 20 each.
$20 each.
Right.
And what are they, the titles of each?
The titles are Challenger and Apollo 13, Helium-3, and Space Technology Spinoff, which is Space of Water for Use.
You know, you should have told me about these hours ago.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not used to being a merchant or a salesman. I'm a scientist.
I understand. I understand.
So if people think I'm out to make money, I don't even talk about it, actually.
I can see that. I had to be pulled from you like a bad tooth. All right, east of the Rockies, you're on the air with David Adair and Art Bell. Hello.
Good morning, David and Art.
Hi, where are you?
I'm from Dallas.
Dallas, Texas. Cliff country, all right.
Yeah. I wanted to ask him about this article that I got some years ago from the Dallas Public Library here, and I heard about it over shortwave. It was 2 articles in June and July it was in Mechanics Illustrated of June and July 1957. So I want to get this out there for other people to look at. The first article was kind of intriguing because it was written by a G. Harry Stein, who it says here was Chief Navy Range Operations at White Sands Proving Grounds.
That's right.
You've heard about this article?
I know of the man. I know of him.
Well, this article...
I was only 3 years old when that was written.
Well, y'all just got through talking about anti-gravity or magnetic drive a few minutes ago, and this article, I think, has great relevance to that. The title of it is Anti-Gravity, Power of the Future. And let me just read some little quotes here. It talks about how recent discoveries that indicate that the spaceship of the future may be powered using anti-gravity. Mentioned a couple scientists, Sir William Crookes and Townsend T. Brown. And talk specifically about Townsend T. Brown and one of his experiments where he used two-disc airfoils. I'll just quote it here exactly. Rumors have been circulating that scientists have built disc airfoils 2 feet in diameter, incorporating a variation of the simple 2-plate electrical condenser, which charged to a potential of 50,000 volts, has achieved a speed of 17 feet per second with a total energy output of 50 watts. A 3-foot diameter disc airfoil charged to 150 kilovolts turned out such an amazing performance, the whole thing was immediately classified. And I kind of have to wonder if that's where things lie today. This was
and that's exactly the kind of description I've heard of these devices, capacitors, basically. Yes, David?
There's another guy that you need to check out. His name is Paul Hill. Heard of him? He wrote a book called Unconventional Flying Objects, UFO. Paul Hill was a scientist with NASA for years and years and years. Almost 30 years. He was a doctor and physicist, and
when he passed on, his relatives...
His daughter found all his works in a roll-up desk.
God, I saw that on TV.
Produced it in the book, and I have it here in front of me. A friend of mine gave it to me, and I'll tell you what, this man, I could see why NASA's glad he had to die before he print this thing. Here's one of the chapters right here.
These were all privately kept notes.
Oh, it's very scientific. For instance, time requirements for interstellar travel, and he gives you all the mathematical formulas for it. And
oh boy,
he was something. It's full of drawings, and here's him a picture of him standing on a platform that's hovering.
Does his daughter do any interviews?
I don't think she does. I think she just produced this thing because she loved her father, and that was it, and she got it out, and it has been a heck of a seller from what I understand. But I knew this guy when I was a child, and he this fantastic research scientist with NASA, and he was back there in the very beginning, in the middle 50s. But anyway, it's called Unconventional Flying Objects. You can buy it at bookstores, and the guy's name was Paul Hill, and it's probably the best, most respected scientific analysis of how a UFO could actually fly, and he gives you all the mathematics to show you how an electromagnetic engine could work.
Gotcha. All right, west of the Rockies, top of the morning, you're on the air with David Adair and Art Bell.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing?
Fine. Where are you?
I'm in San Diego.
San Diego, all right.
You're talking about the magnetic drives. The Magnetic Pulse Propulsion Laboratory, which is headquartered here in San Diego, has had a contract with the DoD for doing work out at Area 51 for the last 12 years. They're classified work, but they have been doing work out there. But I was going to ask David. My father was one of the contributing editors for the Amazing Stories magazine, and I remember the agent sitting in our living room questioning my dad about where he had gotten some of the information for the articles he'd written. But he was a member of the Pasadena Toastmasters Club, and Von Braun was a member too.
Oh yeah.
And they hit it off, and at least once a month he was over at our house having dinner. And I distinctly remember him being very vocal about the work that was going on at the facility in Nevada was wrong. Do you remember him being vocal about that?
Oh yeah.
Well,
matter of fact, I guess he might have set me in the same path for the rest of my life. Is that see that type of research work you're doing there, where you it's okay to do research work within your own realm of science, but when you are privy to something from another planet, I mean, there's a moral issue here, and you just morally don't have the right to lock that up for any one country on the planet, and everyone in the entire world should be privy to it.
Since when, though, was national security concerned with morality?
I know.